YouTube, welcome and welcome back. It's your boy, Journeyman22. You know, I'm a little bit more fired up than usual today just because I sold my very first car. But before I get into telling you the story of how I did it, let me go ahead and get you to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like this video. I can't even talk. This is how I was trying to make the transaction with the car sale. Go ahead and like this video again. Also, go ahead and share this video if you have anyone you feel may benefit by watching this video. Also, last but not least, go ahead, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop new content, and also help me get noticed and help me spread out to a wider audience, baby, because I'm going live. Yeah. So it started on a Friday morning to be exact. I was due for a 12-hour shift, 8 in the morning to 8 p.m. I've been making outbound calls the majority of my day that day. Yeah, I made I don't know how many outbound calls, but the good thing about them outbound calls is I finally got to schedule some appointments. Yeah, that's right. I scheduled some appointments. Yeah. So when the gentleman walked in, you know, like I said, I've been at work all day. It's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening. So I had 2 hours left. And I walked outside. My buyer, he was a fresh up. Now, my car sale guys know what I'm talking about. A fresh up is someone who just walks onto the lot. Now, we have different types of people, different types of consumers come to our lot. Now, they reach us by way of internet. They reach us by way of referrals. They reach us by way of phones, which we call phone ups. We have internet leads and we have referral leads. And there may be some more that I'm missing. I'm still a rookie. Keep that in mind. But this guy was a fresh up, right? So around 6 o'clock, I'm outside walking the lot. And the reason I'm outside walking the lot is because those appointments that I scheduled for the next day, I needed to find a vehicle for them. You know, I wanted to be on top of my stuff when they came in. So, you know, we didn't have to do a whole lot of walking around in 110, 120 plus weather out here in hot Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona to be exact. You know, and if you have been to Phoenix, Arizona, you know exactly how hot it is. It feels like it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, the devil's opening his mouth to yawn. And he don't stop yawning till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So yeah, he's just breathing, flaming hot breath on us all damn day. I don't know what's wrong with that man. It's god dang hot out here. But yeah, so anyway, I was out looking for a vehicle for my appointment the next day. And like I said, I'm trying to find the perfect vehicle, so I'm really just looking right now. I actually just written down the stock number when I happen to see a tall figure in my peripheral. Yeah. Tall, dark, skinny guy in my peripheral. So I look over, and you know, I'm looking to see, hey, where my other salespeople at? Ain't nobody helping this brother. And then my heart instantly starts pounding. And it starts pounding because I had to make a decision. I didn't know whether to go get a salesperson or if I should be the salesperson to help this gentleman. So, you know me, I'm trying to make a good impression on my people during this intern. So I decide that I'm going to sell this gentleman the car. You know, and not only did I decide to sell him the car, you know, because I wanted to make a good impression, you know, let's be honest. I was incompetent, you know, and if it had been anyone who looked like they knew what they was doing, you know, with purchasing a vehicle, I probably wouldn't have approached this brother. But no offense, brother, if you see this video, but you know, he looked kind of as clueless as I did, so you know, I decided to walk on over to him. But as I'm walking over there to him, you know, my heart steady pounding, steady, you know. So, you know, I go over and say, hey, sir, my name is Ian. How can I help you today? And you know, out comes this strong accent, and instantly I knew my brother was not from the US. He was actually from Africa. I forget what part. But yeah, you know, we talked a little bit. He told me his name, which I couldn't understand, so of course I had to ask him again, you know, because there was a slight communication barrier. You know, he spoke English, but it was kind of broken English. And you know, I'm trying to remember my steps as we're talking, like, all right, step 2, step 3, what's step 4? And you know, so I just remembered I got to get this brother inside. I got to get this brother inside. I got to get this guest data sheet filled out because I didn't go out there with a guest data sheet because I ain't had no intentions of selling a vehicle or even meeting anybody on the lot at the time. But yeah, so anyway, I convinced the brother to come in, after talking to him outside. First, I asked him what brought him onto the lot and what he was looking for. Initially, he told me a Toyota Corolla, and then, we walked a little bit further and we saw a Hyundai Elantra GT. It was a 2018 model. And, he really liked that vehicle. He really liked the Toyota Corolla. So I got those two in my mind. I'm like, all right, cool. So he likes the Toyota Corolla and this Hyundai Elantra GT. So we're going to try to get him keys to these vehicles. So I bring him in, right? As I'm bringing him in, I'm asking him about his trade. He had parked on the outside of the lot, so I didn't even know he had a trade. Actually, that's probably how everyone else missed him because he parked outside of the lot and walked in from the opposite end where it's less traffic on that side. So, I got lucky. I lucked up on this brother. Anyway, so I walk inside, I sit him down at my computer and, I get the guest data sheet going, I remember some things and I write them down. Of course, I had to ask him how to spell his name. I get his email from him, get his phone number, and I get the vehicle, his specifications on the vehicle. And, ladies, it's still good men out there because this brother actually came in for a vehicle to surprise his wife with. His whole thing was, I want to surprise my wife. I want her to be happy. And I'm like, yes, sir, brother. With you just, having this thought, having this goodness in your heart to please her, when you get home, brother, she gonna be happy with you. That's right. If she ain't happy with you, my brother, you need to move on. Because good men like you and me, brother, they ain't around like that no more. But yeah, so we get to talking, I go in, and after I collect all the information that I need for my guest data sheet, I take it in there to my manager. I say, hey, you got a trade. All right, well, go out there and appraise the vehicle, Ian. You know what, sir? You're absolutely right. Where's that appraisal sheet? So go over, get the appraisal sheet, grab him again. We go back outside. I tell him to take me to his vehicle. Now, as we walk into the vehicle, I'm asking him, hey, what type of vehicle is it? He's telling me it's a 2012 Ford Focus. And I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna even ask you again because I know exactly what you said. You said a 2012 Ford Focus, but to him it was a Ford Focus. Cool dude, man, cool dude. But yeah, so as we approaching this vehicle, he starts telling me about the door. Now the door latch had broken, so you couldn't close the door properly. Like you had to hold the door as you was driving, and God forbid that you had to go down the freeway at 70, 80 miles per hour and try to hold the door and hold the steering wheel at the same time. Let's say your car pulling to the right or something. Oh man, you in trouble. You better be praying to the Almighty, that He spares you on that freeway because driving like that, you playing Russian roulette. But anyway, yeah, so I get him to bring the vehicle inside, in the dealership, because I'll into the dealership lot for you slow guys. But anyway, I wanted my people to see me appraising this vehicle. I want to make a good impression on my people during this intern, so they keep me afterwards. But anyway, as I'm appraising this vehicle, is in a rough condition. Got more problems than the door being broken. He actually tried to spray paint the doors on the passenger side. The fender was coming off of the back. Tires were like bald. Had a lot of scratches on it. Had a check engine light on it. Like this car was a very, very rough trade-in. $500 probably would have been ideal for this car. No offense, my brother, if you're watching this video. We go back in, I give my managers the appraisal sheet, they look at it, they say $500. Okay, boom. Y'all don't want to offer him 20 like y'all told me y'all did for the other guy. But anyway, they offered him $500 for the rough trade-in. Well, after I told them, all of his needs, he was a young brother, married man from Africa. He had a job doing fuse at the airport, I think. He just had a 7-month-old baby. And, he wanted something good, reliable for his wife that didn't burn a lot of gas, something that was still stylish. So, my managers looked at his work, and they was like, you know what? I want to hook him up. Hey, Ian, he's a young man, he has a young family. You need something good and reliable. Don't show him that Toyota Corolla. Just go straight to the Elantra. The Elantra has less miles. It's going to give him less problems down the road. I was like, you know what? Good salespeople do exist. So if you're watching this video with the, thinking that all salespeople are bad, you're wrong. Not all of them are bad. You got some of them that are good, genuine people, like my manager. So yeah, we go up in there, and the manager decides, hey man, I'm going to hook this brother up. So I go out there, we go see the Elantra. We take it for a test drive, and this man is in love with it. You know, he wanted to turn the speakers up, you know, see what the system was sounding like, you know, had a lot of room for him. You know, he could store a lot of groceries in it, have a lot of passengers in the vehicle, you know, and especially for a newborn, you know, a baby and stuff, you know, we needed some extra room for a car seat. We definitely wouldn't put this man in a two-seater, and we definitely wouldn't put this man in something that was going to leave his beautiful queen and his baby stranded out there on the road. We chose the best option, you know, available at the time that he liked. We test drove it, we come back, and, you know, he's like, "This is the one." I was like, "This is the one." So we go back in, I sit him back down at my desk, you know, and I go and get the pencil. Now the pencil contains all of the information with the payment plan and all of that stuff on it for the customer. You know, so I go out there after I get the pencil from my manager back to my consumer, my buyer, and you know, we're going over the numbers, and you know, he's like, "It's not gonna work." You know, and I forget exactly, you know, what the numbers were at the time, because like I said, this sale happened last week. I should have told y'all last week, but you know, when I got off last week, man, I was so tired because I actually worked 14 and a half hours that day trying to sell that vehicle. And man, I almost thought it wasn't gonna happen because we had a situation that almost had us closed down for the night. But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all about that in a little. But yeah, so we're discussing the pencil, the numbers didn't work for him. So, you know, I try to negotiate with him. Like I said, I can't negotiate much as a salesperson, but my manager can. So I was like, "You know what? Hold on, my man. I got something for you." So I grabbed the pencil up, go and talk to my manager because I did not want this guy to leave. This is my first customer, and I just had a feeling I was going to be able to sell this vehicle. Let's go back in there with my manager. You know, my manager didn't give me much of a fight, to my surprise. He's like, "You know what, Ian? Instead of offering them $500 for the trade," because, he didn't want the $500 for the trade either. He actually wanted $2,000 to $3,000 for the rough trade-in. So I go back in there and talk to my manager, and I was like, "Yo, he's not biting on the idea of $500 for his vehicle. And he don't like these prices either. What else can we do for my man?" He's like, "You know what?" Scratch his head, look down at the pencil, look back up at me. He's like, "You know what? We try to help young families out. You know why? Because we want them to come back and get recurring business. And we also want them to bring their friends. So we need referrals. And right now, we're in the market for trades. We will buy trades." So he's like, "You know what? This is what I'm going to do. Because I like him, and I want this to work out for him. I'm going to lower the price of the vehicle, the overall price, and we're going to give him $1,000 more than what we initially offered for this rough trade-in." Now, $1,500 in my mind, I'm thinking like, wow, this man got a sweet deal. Once he, you know, makes the corrections on the pencil or prints me off a new pencil, I go back out there to my mans. I'm like, "Yo, these are your new numbers. You know, my manager said he wants to help you out and get you and your beautiful queen and your beautiful baby into a great, reliable vehicle. Because we want you to come back. And we want you to tell everybody about us in the valley. So this is what we're going to do for you. Check this out right here. Do these numbers work for you?" Look at him. Look back at me. "Yes, I take it. I take it." And I was like, "All right, my man. Now, if I can get you to sign right here, not sign, but let me get your initials right here saying that you agree to these prices and you will drive this vehicle off of this lot tonight, and I'm going to be the guy that sells you the vehicle. We're going to start this process." So after I got his initials, man, I felt like, man, I don't even know what I felt like. Who was happy? Let me see. Man, I can't even compare that feeling to nobody right now. I tried to compare that feeling to a sitcom or something, but you know, I was just extremely happy. Because like I said, I'm not much of a talker. I'm not much of a persuader. I can't really persuade nobody to do nothing. But, you know, to get this gentleman to buy this vehicle from me, that was big. That was so major. So I was extremely happy. Well, you know, after these signs, I go back in and I was like, "Yo, we got a deal." So at my job, we got this thing. When customers buy a vehicle from us, we make them hit the bomb. You know, so they grab this little thing and they go over and hit the bomb. Boom! So grab my man. I was like, "Yo, my brother, come with me." And I already got the thing in my hand for you to hit this. And, you know, my manager's at the door. You know, they scream out, "Hey, blah, 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 blah. We got a car deal." You know, they beat on the walls, beat on the windows. And, yeah, my man hits the ball. You know, everybody's happy. Everybody's in an uproar, you know, and I'm extremely happy, about to panic, about to freak out and have a heart attack because I just sold my first car. But, yeah, I just sold my first car. So, yeah. After all that, we go back and sit down and we fill out the rest of the paperwork. And in the midst of us filling out the paperwork, I hear my man come back to me telling me, everybody go outside, go outside. We get outside, I'm like, go outside? Well, we got an active shooter around? You know, that's what happened that's what I initially thought in my head was an active shooter, because, you know, a lot of that's been going on lately. And I'm like, oh man, why you had to come today, brother? Why you had to come at this time? But we walk outside, man, we see like 5 fire trucks outside. And apparently on the new car side, because I work used cars, those idiots were over there cooking popcorn and dang near burned the building down. Now I'm just playing. Hey, if y'all watching this video, I'm sorry, I'm just playing. But yeah, so go over there to the new car side, you know, and apparently a light bulb had exploded or something, and it had the building smelling funky. So, you know, they ain't want nothing to burn down. You know, they took the safety precautions and called the fire truck. We were out there for more than an hour trying to figure out if we were going to be able to sell any more vehicles or if we had to go home for the night, because the finance department was ready to go home. Because by this time, you know, I said we started at 6. By this time, it was probably like already 9 o'clock. I was supposed to have been off already. I was supposed to get off at 8. So, you know, I think I stayed off in that thing. You know, like I said, I did 14 and a half hours. So I was in there pretty late trying to get that car deal rolling. But anyway, you know, after the firefighters deemed, you know, it wasn't a safety issue, we proceeded with the finance portion of the deal. You know, my man got the car, you know. And then after that, we had another situation. You know, because in the state of Arizona, you have to provide proof of full coverage insurance before you leave off the lot with one of our vehicles. So my man's, you know, he had, and this happens to all of us, you know, he had expired ID cards for his insurance. Now, he had insurance, but his ID cards that he had on him were expired. You know, he kept calling his wife, you know, and he couldn't let her know what he was doing, you know, so he had to think of something. But he kept calling and couldn't get her, you know. And I was like, oh, man, come on, man. We done already figured this out with the fire trucks. Please, lady, answer the phone. And after, I'll kid you not, it was probably like 15 calls later, she finally answered the phone and she was able to send him some ID cards with the up-to-date insurance information. The deal was done. My man walked away happy. He told me, yeah, I'm gonna go home and then watch this movie with my wife, and tomorrow I'm gonna show her the new car and she's gonna be happy. Man, that made me proud because I was able to sell my first vehicle. I didn't feel like I cheated anyone on a deal, you know, thanks to my manager. You know, my manager was a real good guy, you know, and like I said, just seeing the smile on this brother's face, you know, the excitement in this brother's voice, you know, saying that, hey, I got this planned out for my wife in the morning. He had it all laid out. He's going to watch a movie with his wife that night, and then early in the morning after breakfast, he's going to show her a sweet new ride. So that made me proud, y'all. But anyway, I got another story like that coming later on, so make sure you guys stay tuned in to me. You know, make sure you subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell. And you know what? I'll see y'all all on the next video, because that's all I got for tonight. Peace.